Tappei has just released Arc 7 Chapter 80, and this video will be a summary of the chapter. I highly recommend you check out my Arc 7 Chapter 79 summary. And by the way, sorry for the late video, I was stuck at work until 8:30 PM. So I didn't edit the video, I just used the same images as the last video, so just listen to the audio, minimized or whatever. Anyways, let's begin. As the conversation in the hall came to a close, Dicker Ottoman summarized the situation. They all managed to save the city of Guaral and secured the cooperation of Yorna. Emilia also agrees, stating that they should work together to make their goals come true. However, Dicker Ottoman states that there is a problem, namely regarding Natsumi. When it comes to the Emperor's missing child, it seems like the rumour is public and spreading around the country. Otto assumed Wallachia was peaceful and is shocked that there is a rebellion, but Priscilla states that peace is a temporary bubble. Abel explains that it's the very nature of life. Everyone has the flames of their fighting spirit inside them, and should they try and conceal it, eventually it will build up and explode. Emilia understands what Abel is saying, but she says it's sad. Abel asks for her to clarify, and Emilia says that the Emperor tried really hard to make the country peaceful and stable, but all of it went down the drain. Emilia, who has been studying, knows that Wallachia recently has had many peaceful situations, and they haven't really had many conflicts, and that was all due to Vincent Wallachia. Hearing this, Abel says that Emilia is truly Natsuki Subaru's kind. Emilia assumed Abel and Subaru were friends, but from Abel's gestures, Emilia is certain that Abel hates Subaru. Abel then tells Dicker Ottoman to fan the flames of rebellion. However, Dicker Ottoman asks about obtaining the 9 divine generals, and Abel states that that is a secondary goal. The primary goal is to set up a battlefield. Emilia knew that she was being ignored, but it was Abel's way of saying that he didn't want to continue the conversation anymore. Abel then declares that they need to attack the capital soon. However, deep down, for Emilia to reunite with Rem and Subaru, they would have to take a different path than what Abel is doing. The scene changes. We see that Beatrice has fallen asleep again. Both Otto and Abel agreed that Subaru's life will be safe regardless of which side of the Empire has captured him. However, Emilia knows that Subaru would move if anyone was in danger. Emilia then states that she cares about Subaru and Rem, so therefore she will make her own moves. When asked why she's telling people this, she says that it's because it's very important to make your intentions clear. After all, communication is important. We see that Emilia is talking to Priscilla. We see Priscilla and Emilia are leaving the city hall together. Emilia states that Priscilla says nasty things and interrupts her, however Priscilla listens to what Emilia has to say. In other words, Emilia is kind of saying that Priscilla is a bit of a tsundere. However, Priscilla says that she doesn't know everything in the world, so it's only natural that she would listen to what rabble like Emilia has to say. Emilia then mentions Anastasia, about how Anastasia tried to get Emilia thrown out of the royal selection at the start of the royal selection. However, Emilia says that she's friends with Anastasia now. Priscilla then asks if Emilia wants to be her friend, to which Emilia says yes, and Priscilla pulls out her fan and she dismisses Emilia. Emilia laughs and says that she will ask again tomorrow. Priscilla says that tomorrow will be the same, but Emilia says that she doesn't know what tomorrow will hold, so she will do it anyway. Priscilla says do what you want, and Emilia says that she will. Emilia also wants to know if Priscilla can tell Abel and the rest of what Emilia plans to do. However, Priscilla wonders why Emilia is asking her to do that, and Emilia assumes that she is friends with Abel and the rest. Emilia also comments on Priscilla. Since her mother is Yorna, that means Priscilla is a demi-human. However, Priscilla dismisses it. Emilia then asks if Yorna is Priscilla's foster parent, and again Priscilla shoots Emilia down. Emilia is confused. If Priscilla isn't related by blood, and Yorna isn't a foster parent, why is Yorna her mother? Priscilla says that she doesn't have to tell Emilia everything, but Emilia says that she'll be anxious if she doesn't know. Priscilla then asks if Emilia knows the story about Iris and the King of Thorns. This is a very old story about the Wallachian Empire. The old emperor was known as the King of Thorns, and there was a girl named Iris. Emilia asks if Priscilla likes the story, and Priscilla calls her a half-wit and states that it's relevant. Priscilla states that Iris and the King of Thorns came together at the end of a civil war, and they ended the civil war. Before they could unite, though, they were betrayed, and that was the end of the story. Emilia says that it's a very sad story, and Priscilla says that historical facts and stories are very different. Priscilla then explains that in his madness, the King of Thorns actually cursed Iris, the person he loved. This actually cursed Iris, and Iris' soul was not allowed to enter Odd Lagna. As a result, Iris' soul would return back to the world, the earth, after death. Priscilla then says that there is a mystic art known as the Sacrament of the Immortal King, which can resurrect the dead. However, the commandment of Thorns is a curse born from craving. Priscilla explains that if Iris dies, her soul will not go to Odd Lagna. It will return to Earth, where it will find a suitable vessel, essentially reincarnation or rebirth. Priscilla explains that Yorna is Iris, and that in her previous life, so her previous vessel, she was Sandra Benedict, and gave birth to Priscilla. Then she died, and of course her soul could not enter Odd Lagna, and it rebounded back to Earth, and then her new vessel was Yorna. The scene then changes. We see Abel call out to Sandra Benedict. However, Yorna states that Abel was hiding Prisca away from her. Abel then removes his demon mask, and Yorna knows that Abel was behind Prisca being alive. We see that Abel's promise was a way to break the curse that binds Yorna. Abel then tells Yorna, no, Iris, that the King of Thorns has seen her. Yorna looks at Abel and is reminded of the King of Thorns. Abel then tells Yorna to rouse herself for the sake of her lost daughter, Prisca, and with that, the chapter ends. So what's really interesting about this story about Iris and the King of Thorns is, I read this on the Discord, but in Arc 5, when Priscilla is fighting Sirius, Sirius actually mentions this story to Priscilla, Iris and the King of Thorns. So Tappe foreshadowed this in Arc 5. And Priscilla responds to Sirius saying that it's better off to be dead. So it seems like Priscilla knew that this was a thing, potentially. But the question arises, why does Sirius know about the story? Well, of course, if Sirius is a half-elf or an elf, if she's actually Fortuna, this would make sense considering elves live a very long time. But again, it's just masterful foreshadowing done by Tappe. So Yorna is someone that has returned by death essentially, but she dies and then she's sort of reborn later on in life. So that's really interesting. It seems Emilia is going to go split off on her own path, and we have confirmation that Abel hates Subaru. So this is really interesting from a story perspective. Let me know what you think, and sorry for the late video. Thank you for watching.